Principle number 3 is the fact that income is your seed. Income is your seed. So what's a seed?
First break down income first.
Let's break down income. So now we have understood everything I have belongs to God. I have worked hard. I've become productive. I'm generating an income. Whether that productivity is me being employed by someone and receiving an income at the end of the month. Okay?
For my talents.
Or, yes, or it is me, I've got a cookie business, or I'm baking cakes, or I'm making hair, and I'm receiving an income for it. That's the income that I'm receiving. That income that I receive, that is from my active work, is a seed. So what I am required to do is to plant the seed. It germinates, produces fruit, and inside that fruit, what is it? Seed. And the fruit then finances my lifestyle, and then I have seed that I can also consume, but I also plant. So it's a principle of saving, retaining some, and investing.
Okay.
So I can't consume all that I make. A wise man once said that in the storehouses, in the houses of the wealthy, are choice oils and food. Choice foods and oils. In another way, some people say treasures. But for foolish people, they devour all that they have. Foolish people devour all that they have and then even go and borrow. Those are foolish people. What am I supposed to, when a house has choice food and oil, those days, do you remember an old story of a widow who, her husband died, he had debts, and this prophet comes and asks, what do you have in your house? He says, I have a jar of oil. Oil was seen as wealth. Oil was something that could be exchanged for something else, okay? They barter traded those days.
Oil was in great demand.
Oil was in great demand in the Mediterranean, right? So the point is this, that when you receive an income, it is foolish to consume all of it. So you have to retain some, that's saving, invest it to multiply it, and then you finance your lifestyle from that multiplication. So ideally what I should be doing is generating incomes that finance my lifestyle from my active income.
So
yes,
you're talking about passive.
I'm talking about passive income.
We should be living on passive income.
Eventually. Of course, you can't live on passive income immediately. It's a process and it's a journey. It takes about a number of years. It can take even 25, even 30 years to get to the place where your passive income completely replaces your active income. And it depends on your income. It depends on the assets, our personal circumstances. But the point is, I need to save, use that saving to then invest. I was talking to some people the other day and I was asking, for you to generate 100,000 shillings a month passively, how much do you need? About 10 million shillings.
10 to get 100,000 a month.
A month.
Wow. So the principle, it's not
easy.
Yes,
is
that's
what
not
I'm
easy.
Saying. Yeah. It takes time, but it begins with 5K, begins with 500 bob, begins with 100 bob a month, or every so often. But you have to. It's a journey of consistency. What does saving require you to do? It requires you to keep consistently aware of how am I spending my money. Right? Living within a certain budget and a certain limit so that then I can retain some. It means me being very careful about how I spend my money and not just buying the latest this and the latest the other. It means me not using others as my yardstick and social comparison as what will, decide what I do with what I have. Yeah, so there's different things there that will help you to retain some. Including, look, I'm not going to shop at XYZ. I'll shop at this other place so that I'm able to. I'm not going to upgrade my phone every year because I need to retain some. So there's certain decisions you need to make based on your circumstances so that you retain some. Then when you retain, you're not just retaining and putting it in a current account. There's a principle of multiplication. How can I effectively and efficiently grow this money so that then it multiplies?
And which we'll get to.
Okay.
Okay.
So that's multiplication. And that all that comes under seeing your income as seed. We need to stop this African thing of going out today, to hunt today, to eat today.
Hand to mouth.
Hand to mouth. And look at how can I organize myself and think long term so that as I am able to eat, for these 40 years, I'm working actively. But I might live for another 30 after I've finished working. How am I going to finance those 30 years? I have to use what I've earned in my 40 years to then be able to finance the rest of my life. 80% of Kenyans, Richie, are retiring poor, unable to meet their day-to-day sustenance and relying on family members to finance their day-to-day needs because they've not taken the time to retain and to invest. Yeah.
Wow. So what about, man, I want you to paint the harsh reality of what happens if you don't follow this principle of understanding seed. What happens?
Well, if I don't use the principle, then I'll eat my seed and then I'll have nothing to plant.
Is that a huge problem that you have seen as somebody who works in this industry? Is that where debt comes in?
Absolutely. You're in debt. By the way, this power of compounding interest. Yeah, I'm sure you've heard of time value of money. You miss out on that magic.
Oh.
Right? Because I'm not putting my money. So let me just give you an example. If I decide I'm going to eat my seed, so I have to keep working, because if I don't work, then I don't eat. Right? I don't have any investments or businesses or any assets that are available to finance me in any way. So if I don't work, then I have no money to feed my children. If I don't go to that mjengo, in the evening, I have no food. It's like that.
Yes.
So we need to move from that cycle, is what I'm saying.
Yep.
And that's what I'm saying. When you get money from whatever it is that you're doing, if you don't actively seek to multiply it, you will stay like that until you're 65, 70, you still have to work to eat. So I'm asking that we move from that to the place where we have another income stream. Let me give you an example that anybody can understand. Richie, we're still talking about income and seed. In my book,
Show the book.
Money
Show
Ways,
the book. Yes.
this one, which by the way, everyone just needs to get.
Yep.
Yeah.
By the way, to get the book, link in the description.
In my book, I talk about a story, and I give the story of a gentleman called Sylvester Kibe. His nickname at this time, or I don't know if he's still around, was Kibe wa Mei. Mei is maize in slang in Kenya.
Yeah.
And so what Kibe would do, he had a stand in Isili where he would polish shoes, those little box kiwi stands, and he'd roast maize. So he'd wake up very early in the morning, 4 a.m. he's up, he's out, he's polishing shoes as people are walking to work. And then at about when the sun rises and traffic has died down, he starts roasting maize. And maize, you know, is a popular snack in East Africa.
Yeah.
So he'd sell the maize and make whatever income he'd make for the day. But he began to realize this is not going to take him very far. He needs to do something with his money so that he's able to generate something more. So he was listening to some ladies having a conversation, and this lady came up to him and said, "You need to join our circle." And
the mama
boga,
yes.
yeah, the ladies who are selling fruits and veggies right next to him. And so he was like, this mama thing, I'm all right. But eventually he joined this circle, and he started to save 200 shillings a day, about $2 a day. In fact, less than $2, $150, $2 a day. So he'd save every day.
$1.50.
$1.50. I am sorry, forgive me. Every day, right? And after 14 years, he had 850,000 shillings.
Wow.
He then asked the circle to top up his money so that he could buy a 30-seater minibus matatu. And he bought it, hired a conductor and a driver that was now plying that number 9 route. Where is he? Still roasting maize and polishing shoes. But now he had a second income.
Yes.
When I encountered him, it was on a TV show called Kazi ni Kazi on K24. After some time, even, he was interviewed by other people, and now this time he was talking about buying a second minibus matatu. The point I'm trying to make is, these guys, and he says, and I'll speak in Swahili, is hii kazi munadharau.
Oh, the work you're looking down on.
This work you look down upon is the one that has bought this. And he said, because you look down upon it, I will show you on my minibus a maize cob and a karai, so that you see that it is a maize cob and a karai that bought this minibus matatu. Okay. Your income is your seed. Just be consistent with it, put it aside, understand where can I grow it, how can I be able to do something with this money so that I can generate another income stream.
Rina, just there's something that I really want to touch on. We're still talking about your income is your seed. Now, I love that you're talking about principles, because it doesn't matter. The guy putting 200 shillings is better off than the guy earning 2 million shillings and putting nothing.
Yes. And you'll be amazed how many of those there are.
What do you mean?
2 million shillings and have nothing. In fact, in debt. There are many. Why? Social comparison. I want to show you what I have. It's not their attitude, but that's what they end up doing. I think there's a comfort. It's precious, but then there's also a comfort. If every month 2 million is coming into your account, there's a certain comfort you live in that you're okay. And yeah, in another month, another 2 million is coming. And so you don't invest and you don't do. If you earn 2 million, Kwanza, the amount of investment you need to do is on another level. Why? Because you have a certain lifestyle.
Yes.
And you want to be able to continue to invest in that lifestyle. Not invest in that lifestyle, invest your money so that you can sustain that lifestyle.
Maintain the lifestyle.
So the amount that you need is huge. Yes. I told you 100,000 a month, you need about 10 million shillings.
Wow.
So if I'm spending $1 million a month.
Wow.
Right?
The principle to generate you $1 million a month, I get what you're saying.
Yeah.
But also the goodness is with this you can also get there faster, because if you decide to, you can put a bigger chunk away.
Absolutely. It should be easier if you just manage your lifestyle and see that your income is your seed. You can't eat all of it. You need to retain some. And the more that you need to replace your income, the more that you need to retain. So that then you have a lot and then you can multiply. And then of course there's losses that are made in the process of putting aside money.
Oh.
So again, we've been talking about King Solomon, very wise man. He says, cast your bread upon the waters. And he continues to say, after many days you will find it. Now, it's not just one income, one source. This is what's going to get me there. And I focus on this one thing. I have to find ways to generate multiple income streams. If I'm in business, how can I have multiple products? If I'm investing, how can I get multiple different investments that can give me different things? So investing in different things, whether that's in real estate. It continues to say, or rather, King Solomon continues to say, give a portion to 7, yes, even 8.
Wow.
For you do not know what disaster will fall upon the land. It's not if disaster.
It's not if it's going to happen.
What? Because disaster is coming. And the reason we have to do that is because we don't know what disaster is coming. So I need to have an emergency fund. I need money somewhere available for me, easily accessible, but earning an income that I can tap into if a disaster falls, not if when. I need an insurance policy to cover me for health insurance, so that then when I need to go see a doctor, I'm not coming into my pocket to pay for it.
You're not coming to eat the seed.
I'm not coming to eat the seed. Income is my seed. So I shouldn't be using that to finance that.
You're plucking a fruit and going to pay with that.
Right. I can invest in real estate. That's another income stream. Receive rental income. Invest in a company. Earn dividends. Invest in treasury bonds, treasury bills. Earn an income. I'm gifted. I have a voice and I can speak or I can sing. I can get royalties. So cast your bread upon the waters after many days. So invest it. Cast it away. Put it in something. And eventually it will come. Kibewa Mei, put it in a circle. 14 years later, after many days, he got it back. Was able to multiply it and get another income source. So you have to put it aside in something. Plant it. After many days, it will come back. But we can't eat our seed. Income is your seed. That's principle number 3.
That's such a powerful principle, piggybacking on the other two. So we've talked about ownership, we've talked about productivity, stroke diligence, and now we've talked about income is your seed.
Yes.
What's next?